Hello, hello. It is Tomster here on the behalf of Indestructible Productions once again with another After Hours. Alright, so this time, getting started on the neck. So first things first, I'm checking just the rough dimensions for a neck blank. Basically copying it off one of the neck blanks that we have lying around here. Could not find the template. I know it's somewhere, but yeah. Used what I had. So, I will be making a multi-laminate neck. So first I'm checking how many strips I can get out of this lovely, lovely piece of flame maple. And marking all that out. Once I got all that marked out, I prepare this wonderful Triton workstation and turn it from a router table into a table saw. Fairly fast to do. So, anywho, so I prepared the table saw and for me to cut up all these little strips of maple for me to use in my neck. Fairly straightforward, this. Going with, eventually my neck blank will have to be 20 mil thick. So just to be on the safe side, because it is a multi-laminate neck and pieces will move somewhat. When gluing up, I am doing 30 mil width for these pieces. Being very, very careful here not to put my fingers anywhere near the blade. Fortunately, there is a blade guard right there where you see my left hand right now. So, no worries, don't worry, I'm fine. I still have all my fingers left. Only issue there is trying to get the push stick all the way through, because it's indeed a little wider than the piece I'm cutting. But yeah, all well, all good. I've made sure that one of my edges is completely square, so whenever I'm cutting against the fence, I can put the square side. There we go. Words are hard. I can put the square side along the fence, so that means I'll get a straight cut every single time. Now I've cut up two. And I don't necessarily need to cut this third one, but it is a fair bit wider, so I'll go ahead and cut that one up as well. Wonderful. So that's all pieces cut. Everything's all well and good. Power down the machine, and before I walk away, very important, clean up after yourself. So, yeah. Just, makes it easier to work for the next person coming to work. Now, I decided that I'll have two strips of maple a little thicker, but I want a middle one to be quite a bit thinner. So I'm using the jet sander here to basically get this last piece the right size. I think I ended with about 4-ish mil on this one. 4 or 3, I can't really remember. With all the maple done, I start working on my sapele. So first things first, I gotta plane down and get a nice flat surface on each of my pieces. And get them to an even thickness all the way through. Basically trying to take as little as possible off these so I can have as wide pieces as possible. And also cutting them to the same width, 30 mil. fairly straightforward, this. Alright, now the final piece lies on top of our little wood store here. Some black veneer. No, it's not ebony veneer. I think it's just dyed ash of some sort. I think, I'm not quite sure what wood it was, but it's just basically it's been color treated. I'm using one of my pieces of the multi-laminate neck to kind of cut the veneer. The very important thing to remember is cut the veneer a good bit wider than what your pieces are going to be, because that is more likely to shift during the gluing up process, and you want to have a steady veneer all the way through instead of having gaps here and there. So playing it safe and making my pieces of veneer quite a bit wider than they need to be. And yeah, of course, cutting with a scalpel here, just to get a good cut. Now, when gluing up something like this, preparation is key. So as you saw there in the very beginning, I have all my clamps ready. All the clamps are roughly opened up a good distance, or an equal distance, all of them. And I have all my pieces laid out, so it's very easy for me to just take a piece, spread the glue, take the next piece, spread the glue, and so on and so on. The reason why I want to get as much prepared as possible before I start gluing up is so that whilst I'm actually gluing things, I don't have to run around searching for clamps, searching for clamping calls, or anything really. I want to be completely ready and just concentrate on getting the product glued up as fast as possible, because you are running on limited time here. Because the longer you take, the more the glue is going to cure, and it's just not good if your glue dries before you can actually glue your neck or clamp your neck down. It's not what you want at all. So fairly straightforward, this. I'm using Titebond for this clamping up, this gluing up. Just something that we have plenty of, and definitely good for the job. Now, I had to flip this around a little bit, where I was doing everything, lying down. But I realized that it's just so much easier to try and glue all these pieces together if I stand them up and kind of let the weight of each block hold everything down. Oh, yeah, there, I ran out of glue. So I wasn't completely prepared, but fortunately we have a bunch more lying around. Spread the glue as evenly as possible. I'm using just a credit card blank to do this. Basically putting it together like a little jigsaw puzzle. Or Jenga, whichever you prefer. And I believe this is the final piece. Final piece of veneer. Try and get it on there. There we go. It wasn't so hard now, was it? And the final piece. Now to knock it all down and start up the clamping process. Now I gotta be very, very quick about this. And first thing I do, I make sure that my wood is aligned as well as possible so that I don't lose too much material. What I first do, I just lightly clamp up. I don't really put my back into it, so to speak. I don't twist it all the way through, just for the sake of the fact that I can actually have better control over how it's being clamped up. So if I lightly compress everything, I can still move them around and get them to sit properly before I do the final adjusting. Now, finally tightening everything up. Because this is such a long piece of wood, I have to have blocks once again. Wasn't completely prepared. Had to go and grab a couple of clamping cauls from our little box of cauls there. Yep, come on. Glue's trying. Come on. Run. Alright, so now with my clamping cauls, it's time to clamp everything up. But now, of course, my clamps are not wide enough spread, so open them up and fiddle around with everything, fumble around a little bit. And get it clamped up. There we go. Yeah, I mean, all of this is very straightforward. Don't exactly know what tips to give you, other than basically you just got to be prepared for anything and everything. I wasn't, clearly, but I got it glued up all right, and that's all good. And look who it is! Special guest appearance by our very own Mr. Luigi Valenti. Coming to check up on how I'm getting on. Alright, we're getting closer and closer to the end of the video now, so I hope you have enjoyed this one. I tried to make it a little longer, a little bit more interesting. I know my commentary is still a little off, but that's something I'm definitely working on. So I'd be very glad to hear all your feedback. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And yeah, seriously, let me know what you think, and I'll see you again next week, really. Alright, hey, have a good one. Bye-bye.